Well, the deadline to file your taxes is quickly approaching. You have until April 17th to submit that return. And if you've been procrastinating, that would be me, we have some last-minute tips that could help you avoid costly mistakes. We're joined by Sharon Epperson. It's always good to see you. Both you and I are always working, and so we're always the last ones to file our taxes.
I know, we
right?
are, but we can still tell people what they can do.
Absolutely. So what are some of the biggest mistakes that people make if they procrastinate? What are they missing?
Well, one of the reasons why people procrastinate, I think, is because they're kind of afraid. It's a scary time for a lot of people. And one of the biggest tax day fears, according to a new survey by Wallet Hub, is making a math mistake on your return. 30% of people say that's their biggest fear come tax day. And it's actually one of the most common problems, making an error in calculations. But there are others, from putting in a misspelled name to a wrong social security number or even the wrong filing status. So there are a lot of mistakes that people are making out there.
I also see from your graphic there that a lot of people may owe, but they can't afford to pay. And that's a big issue. What is their recourse?
Well, the recourse is you have to understand that you can file for an extension if you cannot prepare your return in time, but that is not an extension to pay. And that every moment that you wait, you are going to likely suffer a penalty or perhaps have to pay something in terms of interest for your debt. So that's important to keep in mind. The other thing to keep in mind is that you can set up a payment agreement with the IRS. Contact them, try to negotiate something. If you can pay it within 120 days, you can set up a payment agreement. If you think it's a bigger sum, it's going to take more than 120 days, look into an installment plan. And as a last resort, you know, I hate credit card debt.
You do?
I do hate credit card debt, but you could put it on a credit card.
The IRS you hate more, right?
Right, so you want to pay that bill and you use your credit card, but know that fees will apply and it could be 2% or more of the balance due.
You know, if you're waiting till the last minute, sometimes you may not have the time or you may not know where to look for some things that really could put you at an advantage rather than the disadvantage.
Exactly.
What should they look for?
Well, keep in mind, you kind of do get a do-over. You can do an amended return, and you have until 3 years after the tax filing deadline, the original one, to file that amended return. What you have to keep in mind, though, it's not another 1040 that you're submitting. It's called a 1040X, and you have to mail in that return, a paper return. You can't e-file an amended return. So keep that in mind. Make sure you go to the irs.gov to find out where to mail that exactly. And know this too, your 2014 return, if you find something there that you should have changed or done something so you could get that tax break, you only have until April 17th to get that one in. So you still have time, though. So
okay, now I'm
time
under
to
pressure again. But thank you, Sharon.
My
As
pleasure.
always, we really appreciate it.
Sure.
Sharon Epperson.